Hey everyone, I'm Rosie. Welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to go through every single book I've read in 2025 and tell you whether you should read it with a yes, no, or maybe answer. I'm going to tell you whether you should read it by yes, no, or maybe answer because I'm going to go through 67 books and I just do not want to yap about books that I've been yapping about all year for like 2 hours. I don't think you want to watch that. I don't think I want to do that. So I'm just gonna go quite quickly through them, but I'm still going to show you everything that I read. And I'm gonna go month by month in order, chronologically, what I started the year with, what I ended the year with. You're gonna get it chronologically. So I'm just gonna get started right now because there's a lot to go through, and I'm excited to recommend you these books. So let's get started. The first book I read in 2025 was What Did You Do by Janine O'Reilly, which is the second book in the Infatuated Fae series. I think there's now like 4 or 5 books out. I read the first one in 2024 and then I started my year with this. I'm gonna tell you maybe with this because it wasn't as good as the first one. I enjoyed the first one a lot, even though there were some weird parts that made me, a little uncomfy. It was still good. Like, I binged it really fast and the ending was really, shocking. It was really good. This love triangle, good versus bad, but is good really good and bad is really bad? We don't know. Choosing between two men, I just do not enjoy that. So maybe, because I do think I want to read the other ones, so I didn't like hate it enough to say to you like no, but just maybe. Then I continued the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver by reading Reckless, which is Theo's story. This is a yes. It's my favorite one in the series. I think it's the best one. I really loved Theo. He was just really, really good, and I thought the romance was really sweet. And I think this is an unpopular opinion. I like kids in books. They make my heart melt every time. I don't know if it's because I have very strong maternal instincts. I just love kids. I love kids in books, and there's a kid in there because it's like surprise pregnancy. Anyways, it's a yes for me. I think it's really good. The Chestnut Spring, all in all, the series is good, but this one was my favorite, so it's gonna be a yes. And then I read Rootless Vows by Rebecca Ross. I love the Letters of Enchantment duology. I love Rebecca Ross, point blank, period. I love this. It's a yes. I don't know why I feel very sentimental toward this series. When I look at it, I feel like nostalgic, and I do not know why. I just love it so much. I would reread it. I think I want to reread, especially the first one, but everybody, like most people, did not like the second one. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I thought it was really good. So it's also a yes from me. I just want to give you a heads up. There's going to be a lot of yeses in this video because I just had a great reading year. The books I've been reading were just really good. So there's not a lot of no's. There's some maybes and just a lot of yes, but I'm just giving you a warning. I swear I don't give 5 stars to every book I read. I just had a really great reading years, okay? Then we are moving into February. The first book I read in February is Beartown, but I do not have it with me right now because I lent it to my sister, so she has it. But of course, Beartown, it's a yes. It's one of my favorite books of all time. I don't even know like what there is to say more. Like, I've just talked about this series so much. There's nothing left to say. It's just a really, really great series, and of course it's a yes from me. And then I read Love Interest by Claire Gilmore, and honestly, do I remember reading this? I think this is clearly a workplace romance. I don't remember the plot really. Is he like coming in to steal, like he takes the job that she wanted, and like that starts a little rivalry between the two, like in the company, but then they're thrown together on the project and they discover, I have to read that back to tell you what this story is about. I swear I read it. I think I enjoyed it, but I don't even remember what happens in there. I only remember them eating Korean food, and I think he moves away at the end or something. I don't know. I'm gonna go with maybe for this because I don't even remember what happens in here. But I remember enjoying it, So maybe, I don't know. Then we have another favorite of mine, Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gilligs. This is the second book in the Shepherd's King duology. One Dark Window was excellent. I love that book so much. Two Twisted Crown, also plenty excellent. This was so good. And then we got another point of view in this, Elm. Oh my god, this man was yearning for the other woman. It was so good. It was so good. This is a yes, obviously. I think you could, get that from my reaction, but obviously this is a yes. It's a great story. The plot is very unique. The magic system is very unique. And just the setting, it's this dark, eerie, kind of gothic mix in this like castles and balls and like high society. You know the vibe with like weird card magic, like cards, like a deck of cards, and you have to collect the card, and if you have one card you have the magic in it, but if you use it too much there's also a downside to it, and it's just very interesting, a very immersive world. And she did a lot in 2 books for the world. I thought the world building was excellent. It wasn't just too much, but I did have a great grasp like on what the world looked like. So I highly recommend Rachel Gillig. All in all, she's a great author, and this duology was excellent. So also yes. Then we have another favorite. Oh my god, I swear to god, there's so many books that I've fallen in love with this year. It's gonna be quite annoying, okay? But then we have Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I want to giggle right now just thinking about this book, because Wendell and Emily, I just hold these two so close to my heart. Their love is so pure and so just, it makes me giddy, okay? And Wendell, damn, I was so like confused at the beginning because I didn't know Wendell was the love interest, and I thought he was a little annoying, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. And then he started saying things and I was like, okay, Wendell. And he got, oh my god, he got a little bit aggressive when people were, mean to Emily, and I don't know, it did something to me. Obviously this is a yes. I think it's my favorite in the series just because I read it in the spring. Nope, I did not read it in the spring. I read it in February, but because I wanted to feel like spring, even though this story is like set in the winter, it just gives spring vibes to me. And when I'm in February, I can't wait for March, and I'm daydreaming about spring, and that's when I read this, and it was just perfect. In the dead of winter, there was literally snowstorms outside, and I was reading this and I felt like I was in a spring fairy tale, and it was just amazing. So it's another yes for me. Then I read Between Friends and Lovers, and I think I'm discovering that regular old contemporary romance is not my favorite genre like that much, honestly. I enjoy them when I read them, but I'm never like head over heels over them, except for some series. But like standalones, just romance, that there's no like found family in it, I don't know. Like all the romances, the contemporary romances that I enjoy are like part of interconnected series. So we're talking The Chestnut Springs, we're talking Windy City, we're talking Part of Your World that is interconnected with like the other Abby Jimenez like novels. It's Part of Your World, Yours Truly, and Summer something. I read it this year. What is it? Just for the Summer. Like these are all interconnected series that I saw the other characters in there, and then I'm getting their books, and I can get like immersed in the world. But with standalone contemporary romances, that rarely happens, and I don't really remember what happens in here, honestly. So I'm gonna go with maybe, because I remember it being good, but it didn't leave an impression on me. So I'm just gonna say maybe, but yeah, I don't have much to say. And then we're switching to March. Now in March, the first book I read was Anxious People by Fredrik Backman. Another 5 stars, Fredrik Backman book. I'm just gonna give you a fair warning. Every single Fredrik Backman book that you're gonna hear me talk about today have been 5 stars. I haven't rated a Fredrik Backman book less than 5 stars yet. So I'm just gonna say that. Obviously this is a yes. This is about a bank robbery gone wrong, but it's not really about a bank robbery now, is it? It's not really. But it's excellent. There's a lot of great conversations that happens in here, great topics, great point of view discussed. I just thought this was extremely good. I cried, and there were many great quotes. Anyways, yes, again, for Fredrik Backman. Then we're going a little bit on a bad streak. I read God of Malice by Irina Kent. I think at the time that I read this, I rated it, I want to say 3.5 stars. I think I'm gonna bring this down to a 3, maybe 2.75, honestly, because now that I am thinking back on it, this was such a weird book to me. If you like dark I just think I don't like dark romance. If you like dark romance, you do you. I support you, and you know, I really do not care actually what you read. But for me, this was not what I wanted to read. Even though it was addicting. It was an addicting plot line, and just you wanted to know what was happening, but because everything was so freaking crazy, I just couldn't believe what was going on, and I was just being like thrown in every direction in here, and I was just like, what the hell is going on? But I needed to see how it was gonna end, so I literally binged this in like 3 days. But was it good? No. This is gonna be a no for me. This shit was crazy. The way it starts, should have just DNF'd it from there, because crazy way to start a book. Hey, that's crazy. I can't romanticize that. So it's gonna be a no for me, and I'm not gonna continue the series. So yeah, sorry, Rita Kent. I don't think dark romance is for me, at least not this dark. And then, you know, I was doing like a reading dark romance video for a week, so I also read Brutal Prince. That was not good. That was just not good. It's a no. I don't have anything else to say. No. We are moving on to Brighter Days with Funny Story by Emily Henry. This is a yes, obviously. Like I've said many times before, if you've watched my video, I read 3 other Emily Henry books before this one, and I wasn't like entirely sold. Like, I enjoyed her, but I wasn't obsessed with her books like everybody else was, and I just didn't really understand what it was that people were so obsessed with that, you know, she put in her books. Because I really liked Beach Read. Beach Read was really good. But then I read Book Lovers, DNF'd. Couldn't even get through it because I was bored. And then I read Funny Story. I don't think I read these in those order, but Funny Story was just okay. No, what am I saying? Then I read Happy Place. And Happy Place was just okay. A lot of people were like crying over it and something. It didn't, you know, get me that way, but, you know, so I wasn't entirely sold on Emily Henry. But then I read Funny Story. This is one of the greatest romance books I've ever read. This is my favorite contemporary romance, I think. I might be wrong, I might be lying, but right now I can't think of a contemporary romance that I enjoyed more than this one. I just get so many good vibes from this. I look at it and I'm just happy. There's so many annotations in here. I loved Miles. I don't care about the Crocs and the tattoos and the smoking. I don't care because he was the perfect man. And Daphne was the most enjoyable character I read in a long time. I loved it, yes. And then to finish March, I read Hopeless by Elsie Silver, and I also finished the Chestnut Spring series in the same time. This is gonna be a no. The age gap was weird, and I just couldn't wait for it to be over, honestly. I didn't want to read it. It was just okay, but I'm gonna say no for this. I didn't like this one. Then we're moving on to April. I started April by reading Lights Out, specifically listening to it. Great audiobook experience. I'm gonna say yes for this. I haven't read the other ones. I don't know, Game On, is that it? The second one, it's green, and then we have Caught Up, that's coming out this year. I haven't read those, but this one, it was really good. That's like dark romance, but make it funny. That I enjoy. With a little light-hearted humor in here. I thought it was really enjoyable. I laughed many times. I liked the banter. I liked their, you know, dynamic. I thought it was really a fun read. A yes from me. And then I read Rebel Witch, which is the second book in the Crimson Moth Crimson Moth duology by Kristen Ciccarelli or Cicarelli. Do two C's make a S sound? I'm gonna say Ciccarelli, I don't know. Her. It's also gonna be a yes for me. I really enjoyed that duology. I think it's like really simple, but it's so enjoyable. Like, the yearning in here was really good, and I was having a great time reading this. I annotated it a lot, and I really enjoy this. I remember this fondly. So I'm gonna say yes. Don't have much to say. This is the second book, so I'm not gonna say much about it, but the first one is between a witch and a witch hunter. She's like pretending to like him to get information out of him, and he's pretending to like her because he has suspicion that she is the Crimson Moth that he's after. So, but you know, things get messy, and it's really good. So it's a yes. And then I read The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. This is one of my favorite Jessa Hastings books I've read. I love all of her books. Well, not all, because I haven't read, what is it, Time of Your Life? I didn't read that. I have it, but I just can't read it because the reviews have been so bad. I don't know. I'm putting it off, but from what I've read, I've really enjoyed her books. So this one was no different. It was actually so good. There's so many annotations in here. You can't even see them, but the love story was so beautiful in here and so real, and it was not toxic like Magnolia Parks. Like, the main male lead character was actually talking, and he was telling her how he felt every step of the way, and he was always honest, and there was no miscommunication in here. It was great. I enjoyed it a lot, and I was you know crying over this. She has just the best quotes ever. It's such quotable writing. I love the metaphors she uses, and I don't know, it's just really good. So yes. Next, I read Us Against You by Frederick Backman, which is the second book in the Beartown series, and boy, is this a yes from me. I bawled my freaking eyes out reading this. Just thinking about it again, I want to cry. I love that book so much. It was so sad. There was betrayal and just very traumatic things happened in here, but boy was it good. I love the Beartown series so much, so obviously this is a yes. I recommend it a lot. A yes. And then I finished the month of April by reading Heavenly Bodies by Imani Ariu. I enjoyed this, but I think I was expecting more from it, so I'm gonna say maybe, because I saw so much hype around this, and I thought the premise looked very promising, and I don't know, like celestial magic and celestial romance. I thought I would be very into that, and it was good. I enjoyed my time. I think I rated this maybe 3.5 or 4. Like, I enjoyed it really a lot, but I thought this was gonna be like a 5-star series for me, which it is not. But I am excited to read the second one, so I'm gonna say yes or maybe. I don't know. It was good. There was a great plot twist at the end. I've just remembered that was good. I think that's what made it bumped into a 4-star, because the plot twist was really it was good. It got me, okay? It got me. But yeah, I think I'm gonna say a yes for this. And then we're moving on to May, and I started the month of May right primetime spring with Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Lands. Yet again, another yes. Oh my god, that was so good. I love this, and it's so floppy. Like, this is one of the floppiest book I own. I love it. Anyways, these are just great palate cleanser books. It's cozy fantasy. It's a great time. Low stakes. Great like side romance. Like, it's not like the whole front of the story, but it's still quite there. I don't really know what I'm saying, but it's great. The adventures are very interesting. Emily is very endearing. I love her. The side characters are very endearing. I love them. And Wendell, I love Wendell. So, yes. Then I read Quicksilver by Callie Hart. Oh my god, this book was long. This book was so long, but I actually listened to most of this book, and it was really good. I was painting a room in my house while listening to this. Literally binged it while painting. It was really good. I'm gonna say a yes for this. and I am excited for Brimstone. I just hope, because they're so big, and sometimes when the books are so big, they can drag a little bit, so I just hope it's not dragging. But this one was very good. It's a yes. So many yeses. I should count how many yes. I'm gonna do a count of how many yes I said to the books, how many no's, and how many maybes. I'll tell you that at the end. Next, I moved on to Archer's Voice, and this was a great surprise. This is obviously a yes. I just did not think I was going to enjoy that book as much as I did. I've had this book on my shelf for like 2 years, and I just couldn't bring myself to pick it up because the cover is just not an enticing cover. You don't really want to open and read it when you look at this cover, but oh my god, I annotated it so much. It was a great romance. Obviously, it was a great romance between the two characters, and it was just so pure and so heartwarming, but also quite sad when you really start thinking about it, because Archer, man, that boy suffered, and it's just, their love story was so cute. I just couldn't get over it. Like, it made me tear up. Yes, this is a yes for me. Though I know this is a series, and the next book is about whatever the frick his name is. I did not like him at all. He was being a bully, and I don't want to read about him, sadly. So I won't be continuing the series, but the Archer's Voice was really good. And then I moved on to a very different genre. I tried dark romance again with Hooked by Emily McIntyre. I'm gonna say maybe. It was entertaining. Did I like it? Maybe. That's why I'm gonna say maybe. It was okay. I thought I was really gonna like be hooked and obsessed with dark. I can't even feel my goddamn legs anymore with dark romances, but it was just not the case at all. So I'm gonna say maybe with this one. I think I'll probably continue the series, but I'm not sure. So yeah, I'm gonna say maybe. And then lastly for May, I read Fearless. Oh my god, this book was big. And a lot happened in here, and I'm gonna say yes for this. Even though I didn't like where she took Kit's character, I thought it was really sad that that's the direction she chose for him. But you know, the love story between Kai and Peyton, oh my god, why did I forget their name? The love story between Kai and Peyton was still very much, I love their relationship and just how they are with each other. It was really, really fun to read. But you know, we could have done something different with Kit. I was just so sad to see that this is where it ended. But anyways, I'm gonna say yes regardless. And then we're moving on to June. My god, we're halfway through. In June, I started the month with reading Anne of Green Gables by Lucy Montgomery. This is also a new favorite book of mine. This is like an edition with the first 2 books in it, so that's why it's like halfway done. But I did read the whole Anne of Green Gables book, annotated it like crazy, and I read it in Prince Edward Island. If you didn't know, the book is set in Prince Edward Island, and there's a whole museum for it, and there's like Anne of Green Gables merch in every single shop you go into. Like, it's a very loved story, because obviously from there, and so I read it while I visited Prince Edward Island this summer. It was the greatest reading experience I've had ever. Literally ever. This is so good. I love Anne with all of my heart. I think she's just a magical, wonderful human being, and I can't wait to continue her story. And obviously, this is a yes. If you want to know the vibes of this, cottagecore, young girl, friendship, girlhood, I don't know what else. Countryside, like that's the vibe, okay? But it's so good, so good. Then I continued on with The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston, and this is a yes also. Great romance by Ashley Poston. Her romances are always so magical, because obviously she always has this magical realism thing added to it. There's also like there's always a little bit of magic eased into the story somehow, and it's always a very enjoyable time, and this one was no different. The other book I read by her was The 7 Year Slave, and I also really liked it. I just think this one is better in my opinion. I love this one more. I don't know, I think it's the setting, the graveyard. I don't know, I just thought it was so good. She takes graveyard night walks. I don't know, it spoke to me. And you know, there's something very sad that happens at the end, and I cried my eyes out, and I also thought it was beautiful. So yes. Then I read Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney, and I'm gonna say maybe for this because while I did, you know, enjoy it, I was not, you know, as obsessed with it as I was with Rock Paper Scissors. Rock Paper Scissors was so good, and I think it's the only mystery thriller novel I've enjoyed in my life. You're gonna see, like, this is a maybe. The plot twist, it did get me, but I just thought it was depressing. And, you know, I don't know, I felt weird reading it, and I think that's the point in a mystery thriller. Like, it has to be a little bit unsettling, but I don't think I like it. I don't think I like it, and I didn't like any of the characters in here. They were all unlovable characters. So I'm gonna say maybe, because the plot twist did get me. And I think that's the point in a thriller, mystery thriller, but still, maybe. And then I read Immortal Dark by Tiki Skirma. I'm also gonna say maybe for this. I really thought I was gonna love it. Don't know why I didn't. I liked it, and I think I'm gonna continue it, but I'm not like itching to read the second book. So in my mind, that means I didn't really, you know, love it. But I am still gonna say maybe because the setting was very atmospheric for, like, I was in my summerween mood, so for like Halloween and like the autumn months, the Burr months, this is a great read. It's like dark academia, vampires, literal enemies to lovers, but like mostly they're just enemies. They live in this sentient house. Like, all of this seemed like the perfect book to me, but for some reason I was not obsessed, and I was upset that I wasn't obsessed, honestly, because I really wanted to love this. It was just okay for me, so maybe. And then on a more lighthearted note, I read a graphic novel, my first one ever. It's teeny tiny, and it's Garlic and the Vampire by Brie Polson. Yeah, Brie Polson. This is a yes. This is the perfect book, like, to binge in a day. Obviously, like, it reads so fast. Like, it's picture with like 3 words on the page, but the illustrations are so beautiful in here. I love it so much, and so fall, and I don't know, I really liked it. So yes, for me, perfect little fall afternoon book. All right, now for the last book I read in June was the first 3, like, they're like all like novellas, but they make one book of the Mindfuck series. I read the first 3. Obviously, it's a yes. This is one of my favorite book I've read all year. It was so good, so addicting. We're basically following a woman serial killer, and she kills the men that have, you know, wronged her very, very badly, but she gets herself entangled with the FBI agent who's on her case, trying to find her and lock her up, but he doesn't know it's her. She starts a relationship with him, but she's still killing men at the same time. And I was just like, yes, I support women's right, and I support women's wrongs. Okay, that book is incredible. I loved it so much. Obviously, you have to read it. It's so good. It's so good. And now that brings us to July, and I started my month with A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber. And sadly, this is gonna be a no, because what was this? I really enjoyed the second book. What is it? The Ballad of Never After, because we got the main couple. It was about them, you know, Jack and Evangeline. We got a lot of them. I loved it. The banter, the chemistry, it was just so good. But then we move on to A Curse for True Love, and there's no Jack. Jack is he's just floating around, but he's never there. He's just a thought. Because, you know, there's a plot twist. But anyway, I was mad. I was pissed off that Jack wasn't there. And then we got Jack and Evangeline reunion. Here. We got like 5 minutes of them. It wasn't enough. And I did not care about a freaking Apollo. It was a no for me. It was such a disappointing way to end this series. And I just did not like it. I'm sorry. And then I read Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This is a great read. It's a yes from me. I loved it. It was a perfect book to read in the summer. Perfect summer romance. I thought there were great topics discussed in here. And the romance was just so heartwarming, and just they cared about each other so much, and I loved it a lot, and it's gonna be a yes from me. Then I read Welcome to the this is hard to say. Welcome to the Hyunam-dong Bookshop by Hwang Boram. This is a great book. It's also a yes for me. It's basically about a girl who quits her job and opens a bookshop, and then we see her go through life with this new dream that she always dreamed about, and she finally accomplished it. But you know, we see like all the work that she has to do, and all the clients that comes in, what the customers, and then there's some friendship that, you know, builds from there, and we get the side characters like the employees, and there's like a writer, and it's just a love story for books. Like, it's just, if you love books, you're gonna love the main character in here, because she loves books, and she gets it, and I just loved it. There were many great quotes in here. I recommend it a lot. It's a great book, and it's also beautiful. Next, I read None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell, and this is what I tell you when I say I don't think I enjoy thrillers, because this is a no for me. It was boring. I did not like it. I just wanted it to be over, and so I'm not gonna say much about it more. It's just gonna be a no. I'm not gonna elaborate more. I just didn't like it. All right, then we're moving on to August, and I started August with Mile High by Liz Tomfordy. Not gonna lie, did not enjoy it that much. Xander's in the beginning gave me the ick, and I was just like, okay. And then Stevie also gave me the ick with her I'm not like the other girls, I like beer narrative. What was that? I wear sweatpants and I drink beer. I'm not like other girls. I don't know. It gave me the ick, okay? But I don't know. Now that I've read 2 more books in here, now I love them. And by the end, I loved them more. Like, I had learned to love them, but in the beginning, I was just not here for it. So I'm gonna say maybe for Mile High, because it was okay. The other books in the series are excellent. This one was just okay. Then I read The Night in the Moth by Rachel Gillig. One of my favorite books of the year. It was so good. Obviously, it's a yes. The vibes in here were immaculate. Rachel Gillig just knows how to set a vibe. And that vibe is always kind of gothic. And I just eat it up every single time. This was great. I can't wait for the second one. I think it comes out in September. It's so far away, but it's so good. The magic system was yet again very unique, and I loved every second of it. I loved it. The man in here, yes. Yes. Done perfectly. Love it. Next, I read A Man Called Ove by Fredrik Backman, and you guessed it, this was a 5 stars, and it's a yes. That book gets me so emotional when I think about it. It just makes me want to burst into tears. I cried so much reading this. Like, ugly cried. Oh my god. It's one of my favorite Fredrik Backman book I've ever read. It's great. Please, it's so short. Give it a try. You won't regret it. It's about a grumpy old man who meets his new neighbors, and he's just grumpy. But they accept him anyway, and that man, he misses his wife, okay? That's the grand story. His wife is gone, and he misses her, and he doesn't know how to live without her anymore. I'm gonna cry. Anyways, yes. Then I read the last Emily Wilde book in the, Emily Wilde series. Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales. Obviously, this is a yes. This was great. I loved it. I tabbed it a lot. I just thought this was I love these books so much. They're so magical. I'm always having a grand old time when I read them. And I will recommend this series till the day I die. Yes. And I finished off August by reading Coraline by Neil Gaiman. I've always wanted to read the original story because I'm obsessed with the movie. It's my favorite movie to watch during spooky season. Oh, it's so good. I remember watching it in the movie theater when it came out, and I was so young, and I just always loved that movie. And so I was like, I have to read the actual story, and it was different. The tone is much darker, obviously, because the movie is like made for kids, and I don't think this is supposed to be for kids. It's much darker, and she doesn't have a friend to go through all of this with. You know, YB, he doesn't exist in that book. It was created. I was kind of, I can't feel my legs anymore. Do you mind if I talk like this? Anyways, I think I'm gonna sit like this because I can't feel my legs anymore. YB doesn't exist. It's much darker, but I did enjoy it, so I'm gonna say yes. It's also very quick, and I listened to the audiobook for this. It was great. It was narrated by Neil Gaiman, so I loved it a lot. Now we're moving on to September, and I started September the only right way, by reading Twilight. And this was great. This was great. This is just great. This is, like, it's not good, but it's great. I'm obsessed with it, and obviously, like, this is an insanely large amount of tabbing. Did I need to tab this much? No. I just had so much fun tabbing it because this story is very nostalgic to me, and I just love it. I love it, even though it's kind of trash. I love it. So yes, for Twilight. Obviously, the first book is really good, and I loved all the books because I just loved the story, but not everybody loves the other books, but this one, it's so good. Just try it. And I read another new favorite series of mine, Belladonna. Oh my god, this was one of my biggest discovery of the year. The Belladonna series lives in my mind rent-free, all the time. It's always in here. I love it so much. The setting is amazing. If you love fall, read this in the fall. You will not regret it. I just felt so seen by Signa, honestly. I felt so seen. Yes, this is amazing. Basically, it's a girl who can't die, and she meets death, and they have to uncover a mystery together, and so they team up, but oh my god, I loved it. Then I read a classic. I think it's my second one of the year now, with Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. This was such a weird book. Obviously, this is a yes. It was so weird and eerie and dark, but also obsessive and just yearning, but toxic love, addicting. This was so good, but so weird. I do really recommend it though. Obviously, it's a classic for a reason. Sometimes I forget that classics are classics for a reason because they're great stories. I don't think you should be intimidated by classics. You just have to read them. Just get over your fear of not understanding the book and just read it. I swear to you, you'll be fine, and you will have read a great story at the end. So yes, I recommend it. Next, we went on to a little novella. I read the Killjoy novella from The Good Girls Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This was just a fun time. I read it in one day, and we're basically following Pip before the events that happened in The Good Girls Guide to Murder. So it's like a prequel, and she goes to her friend's murder mystery party, and so it's like a fake murder investigation that she goes to, and there's characters. You know what murder mystery is, the games. Anyways, it was good. It was just a fun time. It's very fast-paced, addicting. It's written so big, and I love Pip. So yeah. Then another great read in September was Phantasma. I ate this up so bad. I read it so fast. It was actually so, oh my god, there's some, I forgot I pressed some leaves because I read this while I was at my cousin's cabin, and I picked out some leaves, some fall leaves, and I pressed them in the book where I quoted things, where I underlined some quotes. This one says, "I feel robbed of my first time laying eyes on you." Oh my god, what do you mean? Look look at this. Oh my god. I should do this more often. Anyways, this was great. Games, deadly trials kind of thing. Games so she can win something. She wants to save her sister, so she goes into this deadly competition and she gets the help of someone. And it's just really good. So yes. Then lastly, for September, I read the second book in the Belladonna series, Foxglove. And yes, this is a yes, obviously. Great read, as always. Like, I read a lot of series this year, a lot of great series. So, there's not much else to say than I love this. Yes, please pick it up. It's the perfect fall series to read. Like, for the September and October month, read Belladonna. Please. It's so good. It's so good. All right. Now we're moving on to the last 3 months. Bear with me. October started the month with reading Slewfoot by Bram. I was very excited to read this because I really wanted to read a Bram book, just because have you seen this illustration? I think this is the most beautiful book I own. It's literally perfection. It's so pretty. And I was enjoying this a lot in the beginning. It was very witchy and like eerie and kind of unsettling, but in a good way. Like, this one I enjoyed. I just didn't find Agatha's revenge to be enough. I needed more revenge. Hey everyone, my camera stopped working yesterday, just as I finished talking about September, I think. So we're just gonna start over from October. So, where are the books? Oh my god. Okay. So, in October, I read Slewfoot. Then I read Wisteria, which is the third book in the original trilogy of Belladonna. I think this one might be my favorite in the trilogy. The love between the two characters in here, oh my god. It was just so powerful, so palpable. I could literally feel it through the page how much they loved each other. And I don't know, their devotion and their love and their yearning and everything that they felt for each other was so good. I really loved it, and I cried my eyes out at the end. So yes, for this. Then I read Graveyard Shift by Emma Rio. I read this while taking a walk during like peak October. Everything was orange. I took a walk in the forest and the leaves were just beautiful, and I listened to this while I was in the forest taking a walk. Very atmospheric, very good. It's about a bunch of people who work around a graveyard, and that's the only place they can go to smoke. So they like all join to smoke at the graveyard, and one day they meet up and there's a grave that's been dug up, and so they kind of try and discover like who did it and why. That's the story. It was good. It was entertaining, but I didn't get attached to characters, and it was just good. It was okay. I would say yes. It was alright. It was good for the month of October. I do recommend it. Then I read Pumpkinheads. I'm gonna say no for this because as much as I love the illustrations in here, this is the epitome of fall. Like, they're very beautiful illustrations. The story, I mean, boring, predictable, not original at all. In my opinion, it didn't really get any emotion out of me at all. I was just like, okay, yeah, obviously this is where they're going. And maybe the point of this wasn't to be an extraordinary story. Probably not. But I just didn't really care for it, so that's just my opinion. So I'm gonna say no. But the pictures were really beautiful. The drawings, the illustrations were very beautiful. I'm gonna give it that. Then I read The Legend of Sleepy Hollow by Washington Irving. I really wanted to read it because I watched the movie last year with Johnny Depp, and I loved that movie so much, and so I was really interested in knowing the actual story that inspired this movie. I thought it was gonna be pretty much the same. Baby, no. Nothing happens in this story. But it was so good. I'm gonna say yes. It's a yes. Like, just the way autumn is described in this book, top tier, amazing. I love these quotes. They're amazing. Oh, I have little leaves inside. yes, it was a good time, quick read, just atmospheric, beautifully written, honestly. So, yes. Then I read 13 Child, and I'm going to say no for this. I was so pissed off, mad at the whole book, at the main character. She was so annoying, so freaking stupid. I just couldn't get over it, and I didn't like that we just forgot about death for the other half of the book. He was just not there. I thought this was a story about about this girl, the 13th child that died. The child has been chosen by death to be raised, carry on his legacy or whatever. He's gone for the second half of the book. We don't see him anymore, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then she kept doing the same mistakes over and over and over again. It was very annoying, so I'm just gonna say no for this. Then I read New Moon. Yeah. It's gonna be a yes for me because all of the Twilight books are gonna be yeses for me. Even though they're not that good, they are to me. I just love them. I don't know, I feel very nostalgic when I read them, and they're peak literature. They're peak books to read during the fall. They're not peak literature, but they're really great atmospheric books for the fall, I think. And you put on like a little Twilight playlist in the background. You can even put like an ambiance on the TV. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I love these books, so obviously I'm gonna say yes to New Moon. I read Mate by Aliza Wood, which is the second book in this duology with Bride. They're like sister books. And we're following Misery's from the first book, best friend. And she's like she's a human werewolf hybrid. And she kind of gets the help of the alpha of a certain pack that I can't recall right now. But yeah, I'm gonna say yes to this. I read this so fast. It was very addicting, really good. The only thing I didn't really vibe with was all the pack talk, like the history and everything, like all the how the pack works and everything. I was very confused at that, and honestly, I didn't care. But the romance was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. She was in heat. She was in heat, and it was painful, and she was nesting, and you know, it sounded ridiculous when I say it out loud. There was nodding. And it has, you know, as weird as that is, it was still good. Like, I ate it up. I'm sorry. It was really good. Yes. Now we're moving on to November. In November, I read, there's so many books in front of me. I'm lost. I can't find it, but I read, it's literally at the top of the pile. I read The Right Move by Liz Tomfordy, which is the second book in the Windy City series, which is like it's a sports romance series based in Chicago, and we're following Stevie's twin brother Ryan in here, and her friend Indy. There's like a forced proximity living together situation here that I really enjoy. He was the king of acts of service. He literally learned sign language for her dad so he could speak to him. I mean, you're going to tell me that that's the bare minimum if you're trying to date a girl whose dad is deaf, but I still think it was very sweet. So I'm gonna say yes for this. It was really good. I love Ryan Shay, and I love Indy. She's so sweet, even though she was kind of annoying with her ex. That kind of annoyed me, and I was like, girl, he literally treated you like dog shit, ass dog shit, and you're still not over him. I was confused, but anyway, yes, it's a yes. Next, I read The Serpent and the Wings of Night, which is the first book in the first duology in the Crowns of Nyaxia series. So it's vampires, it's deadly games, it's enemies to lovers, back to enemies. yeah, this was really good. I am so excited to continue this series, and obviously this is a yes. I just love vampires. I love it. Give me a vampire book and I will eat it up. So I'm gonna say yes to this. Then I read If We Were Villains by Emma Rio. I wasn't sold on this in the beginning. Because all of the Shakespeare talk was kind of confusing to me, and there were some things that I did not understand, and that's on me for not knowing Shakespeare that way. But as the story went on, I was so invested in the characters and how they were gonna fix everything, and all of the relationship between them, and the dynamics that were going on, and the mysteries that we're trying to solve. And then there was Oliver and James. Oh God, Oliver and James have carved their way into my heart forever. I wanted more for them, like justice for Oliver and James. I loved them so much, and they really made me, they got me. Like I cried at the end. And yeah, I'm gonna say yes to this. This is like peak dark academia literature. Like, read this in November, I swear to you. It's the perfect month in my opinion for dark academia, and it was perfect for that month. They're in a conservatory, they're actors, they study Shakespeare, they do plays, they live in a house together. It's, yeah. Then I read, finally, Onyx Storm. Literally ordered that January of last year, read it December of last year. No, read it November. Read it November last year. Still like a lot of months, you know, because I pre-ordered it. I was so excited, and then I just never picked it up. But I had to read it that year, so picked it up in November. And honestly, biggest disappointment of the year. I was so annoyed in that book. I was so pissed. And I was like, all the decisions you're making right now, Violet, are stupid. Why are you back at school? Why are you following the rules of General what's his face? You weren't there for like a whole book, and you were doing your thing, and you know, you were successful in doing your thing, and now you're back here for what? You just saved his ass, and now you're under his command again. He's trying to stop you from doing what you have to do, and he's doing the most to annoy you and to like piss you off and to like, I don't know, he was just the pettiest man ever. And then you're still under his command when you have the most powerful dragon like in the territory, and he's bonded to the second most powerful dragon. Like, what? Why are you following his order? I was pissed. Just get your gang and go do what you have to do. And then when she finally does it in the most stupidest way ever. I was so annoyed. But the end was good. The end did get me. So I was gonna give this 3 stars, and I think I bumped it up to a 3.5 just because the ending was good. But yeah, I'm gonna say no. Maybe. No, or maybe. I don't know. And then lastly, in November, I read Wild Reference by Rebecca Ross, which is the prequel to the Divine Rivals duology. And this one, we follow the gods. So we get like all the gods backstory, and I thought this was a magnificent book. I loved it so much. I love the relationship between the 2 characters in here. Oh my god, the yearning, the pining, the love, the obsession. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful, and I love like the celestial elements in here and the gods and everything. I just thought it was so well done, so interesting. It was very good. I loved it, and I just love the full circle moment we got at the end, because we get like the backstory, the magical typewriters that's in Divine Rivals. Like, we see how they were created. Got chills at the end. Got chills. It's a yes from me. I love Rebecca Ross, and I want to read her other series, like I think it's The River Enchanted. I want to read that in 2026. I want to read all the books she's ever written, because I love her writing so much. And then lastly, we're moving on to December. Now, the first book I read in December was 6 Scorched Roses by Marissa Broadbent, which is the novella between the first 2 books in the Crown of Naxia series. That novella was so good. Oh my god, I could not stop reading. It was so addicting, so beautiful. The love between the 2, oh my god, made me giggle. I was just so giddy over it. I love them. I hope we see more of them in the second book, because I loved it. I would reread that novella. It was so good. One of the best novellas I've read ever. So yes, for 6 Scorched Roses. Really hard name to pronounce. And then I read Fearful. Unnecessary book. I want to say no for this. Unnecessary book. I don't know why she wrote this. I don't know if it's to like create a bridge between 2 series. I don't know if she's coming out with another series that, you know, is related to what happens in here, but it was just a big ass resounding no. Because for the first half, I was enjoying it a lot actually, because she was building this very beautiful relationship between 2 characters, and I was just like, yes, I'm loving it. I'm loving it for this character that I thought was done wrong in the 3rd book, and I'm loving it for the other character who's been lonely for so long. I was just like, yes, and then no. And then the end, I wanted to punch a wall. I wanted to rip this book in a million pieces, because I was just like, why would you do that? That's so depressing. That's so unsatisfying. No, I did not like it. Not one bit. Then I read The Winners by Frederick Bachman. This book put me in such a sad mental space. I finished that book and I just looked at the wall for a solid 20 minutes. No sound, no talking, just tears. I was just sobbing. My eyes were red. They were itching because I cried so much. My nose was so stuffed with snot because of how much I cried. My tears were soaked. My t-shirt was soaked because I was just crying like someone in my family died. Because that's how it felt. And the ending, I can't even talk about it. This was a beautiful book. I'm not gonna say beautiful way to end the trilogy because, oh my god, it still breaks my heart, but at the end of the day, it was beautiful. And I love it with all of my heart. I think it has to be my favorite series. It's in the God tiers for sure. So I'm gonna say yes, of course, to The Winners. Great series. You have to pick it up, especially we're going into winter. Well, we're right into winter, in the middle of winter. Read this series about a bunch of kids who play hockey. Please read it. Then I moved on to a Christmas novella because we were coming around close to Christmas, and I really wanted to close my Belladonna era. I wanted to read the whole series this year, so this is the last book. It's a novella. It's a Christmas novella, and we get all of the characters from Belladonna's together, and they're celebrating Christmas, but something happens, and now they have another mystery to uncover in this. And I just thought it was the most perfect Christmas book ever. I would reread it next Christmas just for the vibes. It was so good. I loved it a lot. And yeah, the book is also just magnificent. It's the end pages. I loved it. Yes, obviously, yes. Please read the Belladonna series. I'm gonna stop saying it now because it's the last book that I'm gonna talk about for Belladonna, but please pick it up. And then the last book I read in 2025 was my biggest accomplishments of this year. I've had this book on my TBR for 3 years now. Read the first one 3 years ago. Loved it. Hey, I loved it. This wasn't I didn't really like it, so I didn't continue. No, loved it. Bought the second book, didn't read it. Kept looking at it on my shelf, and I just couldn't bring myself to read it. And then on December, oh my god, I've never been more interrupted during a video in my life. What I was saying, finally read Crooked Kingdom. I don't even know where I was, but I finally read it. It was great. I loved it. It's a yes. I would want to reread it actually, the first one and the second one closer together, because obviously it was just 3 years apart, so it took me a little bit to get back into it. But once it was a great time, and I absolutely loved it. So yes. This brings us to the end of today's video. I've yapped your ears off for long enough now, so I'm gonna leave you here. And if you want to see more of me, I have all my socials linked down below. I have my TikTok, my Instagram, and my Fable. I'm not on Goodreads as much, but it's still down there if you want to follow me. And then yeah, I hope to see you in the next one. But in the meantime, take care and happy reading. Bye.